Okay, here I am in London, just finishing my master class with Dr. Vandler, did 3 days of personal enhancement, and I found my friend Alexander
Sinigoj.
Sinigoj. He was a trainer in last year when I was doing my master practitioner, and we're very lucky that he just gave us a few of its minutes so we can ask him about NLP especially. And let's start. How did you get started in NLP?
So I started with NLP so that I was a first client. So I did it for myself first. So I was in hospital.
Yes.
I was 105 kilos. I was broke, and my goal is, of course, was at that time to find a solution.
Okay.
And one of the ways that I found a solution was that I put and wrote down goals.
Okay.
And all of the goals came true. And one of the goals was, of course, to learn as much as possible about the human mind.
Yes.
And then I noticed and found NLP. I started first with Tony Robbins.
Yes.
And he was my first mentor. And Tony once, when I was in Australia, said, you need to see Richard Bandler. And I said, okay, let's go and see who is Richard Bandler. And from then, I started learning from him. I became one of the member of his assisting team.
Great.
And I keep learning. I think NLP is one of the best technologies of human mind. I call it sometimes practical psychology.
Yes.
And I really love it.
Okay. There's a question that everybody asks in my country. Why is it so important that you find a trainer that's member of the NLP Society?
I've tried to learn from many people as possible. So I learned from people who teach NLP and are not society members, and I try to learn people who teach similar things to NLP.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, it's so important to learn from people who are the founders of NLP, and also I like the approach of Dr. Richard Bandler because it's funny and at the same time it makes things work. So to me, theory, it's great, but the most important part, because when I have a client or when I have an issue, I would like a solution.
Yes.
So I would like a problem to be solved. So to me, it's so important that we learn and train with society of NLP, because these are people who actually know how things work and make it happen.
Exactly. And I follow him in Facebook, and I see him all around the world. And I saw that you did a seminar in hypnotic training.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that, because in my country, you know, people think about hypnosis like stage hypnosis. I'm going to make you quack and you're going outside the street in underwear. So tell us our NLP approach in hypnosis, please.
Yeah, so the whole idea about hypnosis is that we learn consciously and unconsciously.
Yes.
And unconsciously, we learn faster. And with using the hypnosis and hypnotic suggestion, we can use, of course, to change ourselves and help change others. It's such a great tool to add to all NLP techniques, and I recommend it to everyone. I use hypnosis on myself to improve my motivation, to change my habits. I use hypnosis for other people to change their habits. Hypnotic language is something that we use all the time, but we now have a set of techniques and tools how we can do that perhaps in a more structured way. So I actually encourage you to learn hypnosis and to become one of the best in this, and of course a trainer from a society.
Yes.
Can help you a lot, so I recommend you do that with somebody who is certified and has learned it from Dr. Bandler and his team.
Exactly. And you know that when we start in this world, you do the practitioner, you do the master, you come around a lot of people that you kind of help them, right? And there's always one or two that you remember that they approach you like 5 years later, 1 year later, that exactly, that brings out your smile. Can you tell us about that particular client that you know you made a difference?
I think it's usually hard to say. I think one of the clients was me, and I think to me it make a whole great difference. But for example, I'll give you an example of one of my students, and her son was at that time a drug addict.
Okay.
And she asked me to help him. And I usually do for my students because I consider them my family.
Of course.
I help them for free. So this is my goal, to help kids. And this guy was not really a small kid. He was in his early 20s. After I spent time with him, yes. I worked with him consciously, but also unconsciously, so that he didn't know that I worked with him at all.
Yes.
This is how hypnosis is so useful.
Yes.
Not only stopped taking drugs, he went back to study, found a part-time job, and found a girlfriend.
Imagine.
And his mother became one of my best marketing agents, and I even didn't pay her because she was so grateful that she went out telling everybody how good is NLP, how can I help them to change, and the whole story is that I encourage people to go extra mile,
exactly.
to really work hard, and if they have a client, they need to believe in the client. They need to give them the best they can. They need to put all their powers and whatever it takes to make this change.
Yeah.
So when they go extra mile, when they do all these changes, they will learn more. Because sometimes I have a case, I have a situation that I don't know how to solve.
Yeah.
And going extra mile thinks sometimes, okay, I have some ideas and I don't know how to solve that. And maybe when I sleep during the night, then in the morning I have a solution. Wow, I have a solution.
Exactly.
Because it's only because I'm so focused on solving the problems and helping people.
Well, that's great. And one last advice. So somebody that's hearing us, that's starting at NLP, like my girlfriend, she's a coach of the IFC, or somebody that doesn't know nothing about NLP, what would they learn? Why should they start? Why should they start reading something so they can maybe change their relationship with their kids, with their own self?
So there are two ways you can think about NLP. First, you
Yes.
can use NLP to change yourself.
Yes.
So if you have a habit or a thought or a lot of thoughts or emotions or feelings, anything that you feel that you can change on yourself, then NLP, it's a great set of tools or techniques that can help you. And also, if you have family members like kids or a partner or parents, or even if you have a team of people in your company, in your job,
Yeah.
they can all use whatever you learn because your communication will be different with them.
Yes.
So I think if I generalize,
Yes.
so if you're a human,
Yeah.
or if you interact with other human beings,
Yeah.
NLP it's a great tool.
Sure. Great. So how can people find you on the social media, on Facebook?
They can find me on Facebook.
Yes.
I have different websites. They can connect through you.
Yes.
It would be an honor.
Yeah.
And one day, I hope to come to Venezuela.
Yeah, sure. That's one of the things that we're planning in this journey that I'm here right now. We want to take trainers and go to Venezuela so people can see the difference and especially feel the difference. So, well.
A mí me gustaría muchísimo un día llegar en Venezuela, hablar de PNL, porque es una pasión de mi vida. Pienso que puedo ayudar a una persona, se ayuda a una persona en Venezuela. Después mi viaje en Venezuela fue una buena cosa.
Magnifico. Bueno.
How was my Spanish?
Yeah, it was great. It was great. It was great. Okay, so soon we'll have Alexandra there in Venezuela. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
And it was an honor, my honor.
Thank
man.
you.
Thank you.